This song came to mind, and it's a song that a friend of mine wrote, and I just want to share the chorus of it with you. It says, all is well, we are safe in the arms of God. All is well, God is with us, and all is well. She wrote that song after the attacks of 9/11 to bring comfort to people as a result of that. And as I thought about that, resonating with that song, allowing that song to just kind of have life in me, I recognize the truth of that sentiment. All is well. All is well. We are safe in the arms of God. What I want to say about that is that all is well. All is well. And we affirm in unity that we are expressions of the divine. That is our essential nature. We are God expressing. And we often, I think, talk about that in terms that may be a bit confusing. When we talk about all of that, we are talking about the truth at the absolute, in the absolute expression of us. That who we really are as expressions of God is eternal, cannot be harmed, cannot be in any way affected by the outer circumstances. Truly, that is who and what we are. And I want to say to us today that all is not well. All is not well. Yes, all is well in our spiritual truth. But in the outer expression, all is not well, my friends. Let's not confuse the two. We talk in unity as well about this idea of that it's all in divine order. And we say that as if we believe that everything that happens in the expression out here in the world is somehow divinely designed or divinely ordained. It is not. I'm here to tell you it is not. Because the only way that we can manifest the divine is when we are willing to do something about it. Because the divine plan, or the divine plan for all humanity, I believe, is that we live in harmony and peace and order and justice for all the world. That is the divine plan if you believe in a divine plan, but there is no deity, no God that is going to reach down his or her hand and make it all okay. That is our job, my friends. That is our job. Because what we teach about divine order in unity is divine order is mind, idea, expression. What we think about comes about. What we do in the world is what gets manifested in the world. That is the divine order of the universe. And so it is up to us to bring forth the divine plan, if you think of it that way, as peace, love, joy, justice, and good for all people. The world, I'm not talking about just people. The earth, the environment, the animals. All is not well. And if you believe that what we are witnessing in the world is a divine plan, then we disagree. We disagree. Charles Fillmore even said this. and Jesus Christ heals. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, said, "We all intuitively know that there is something wrong in a world where poverty, suffering, and sorrow prevail. We would not, any of us, create such a world. We all want to see these things blotted out in the world." Listen to this. This is the index pointing the way to the possibility of doing so. Whatever we see as wrong is for us to right. Whatever we see as wrong is for us to right. And you and I are the ones who have to be the hands of God in the world in order to right what we see as wrong, what is not well in our world. We are the hands of God, if you want to put it that way. We are the ones with our hands, with our actions, with our words. We are the ones to bring forth into this dimension the kingdom of heaven, which is peace, love, joy, justice, equality, equity for all. All. At least that is my vision of what is well. And we are to be the ones who are working for that. And it is our choice. Your choice and my choice every moment of every day. To speak for what we believe is right. To act for what we believe is right. To do the work. To do the work. As I said, I believe we are the hands of God. And what I want to share with us today is that you could disagree with me with any of this. I'm not saying I'm right. But the hands of God do not build walls. The hands of God build bridges. Part of what we have witnessed in the division in our country, I believe, is the effect of us building walls between ourselves and those that we see as the other. Us and them. Us and them. It's a symptom, this dissension is a symptom of our unwillingness to build bridges with people that we see as different from us. People that we fear. If we think someone is different from us, we fear them very often. They don't look like us. They don't think like us. They don't act like us. They don't believe like us. So they're different. And it's not our fault. The good news is it's not our fault. We're wired that way. It's a part of our evolution that we still have that limbic brain that was designed to protect us. When we see something that's different or someone that is different from us, we immediately want to protect ourselves. That's part of it. But guess what? We have evolved. We have evolved. We now have a frontal cortex where we can think and we can reason. We can figure things out. We can know when something is a threat to us or not. And I think it's important for us to be willing to be the hands of God and to build those bridges between the people that we see as different from us. Whether that is in national origin, religion, skin color, gender, sexual orientation, gender orientation. We have to be the ones to build the bridges. Because what we witnessed, I believe, in this election is this great divide between us. We're not listening to each other. We're not connecting with each other. We're not hearing each other. I heard someone say the other day, when we're talking about their pain about the election, well, I don't think I know any of those people. I don't think I know any of those people that voted for him, or I don't know any of those people that voted for her. That's a problem. The problem is that we see us and them. I want to read to you something that Parker Palmer wrote. It is true that we are all in this together. It is equally true that we spend most of our lives in tribes or lifestyle enclaves. And that thinking of the world in terms of us and them is one of the many limitations of the human mind. The good news is that us and them does not have to mean us versus them. Instead, it can remind us of the ancient tradition of hospitality to the stranger and give us a chance to translate it into the 21st century terms. Hospitality, rightly understood, is premised on the notion that the stranger has much to teach us. It actively invites otherness into our lives to make them more expansive, including forms of otherness that seem utterly alien to us. Of course, we will not practice deep hospitality if we do not embrace the creative possibilities inherent in our differences. So it's important for us to embrace our differences. Just because someone worships Allah does not mean that we are in opposition. Just because someone lives in South America does not mean that we are at war with each other. We are not in battle. So we must begin to build bridges. And I would say that that is true even in our own community. That we have diverse ideas, diverse beliefs within our own community. The people sitting in this room. Do we even dare to build bridges? Do we even dare to come together and to have a conversation about our differences? I think if we can't do it here, where can we do it? If we can't do it here, how are we ever going to do it in the world out there? Because this is a relatively safe space. Hopefully. We're not always going to agree. Also, the hands of God do not point fingers. The hands of God do not point fingers. Do not blame, do not criticize, do not say you are wrong and I am right. The hands of God intertwine. The hands of God come together. As the song said, let it be my focus to, rather than to be understood, to understand. Let me understand you. Let us come together in that. Also, the hands of God, I believe, do not stay folded in prayer. The hands of God pray, but the hands of God do not stay only in prayer. The hands of God reach out. the hands of God reach out to meet the needs of those who are in need and to lift them up. Prayer is essential. It is an essential part of our teaching. It connects us with that place of knowing that all is well within us, in the deepest part of our being. And yet we cannot stay there. The hands of God reach out to help and to assist other people. The hands of God do not stay clasped around what I think is mine. The hands of God do not try to hold on. The hands of God give freely from all that we are, all that we have, the God within us. And I believe the hands of God do not rape and pillage the earth and destroy the environment. It says in Genesis that man is given dominion over the earth and the lower things of the earth. That does not mean that we are to use it and abuse it for our own ego needs. It means that we are to take responsibility for it, to nurture it, to tend it, to care for it. The hands of God nurture the earth, nurture the animals, care for the environment. I'm going to say this at the risk of having eggs thrown at me. The hands of God do not destroy the sacred land of a people for economic gain. The hands of God respect and reach out and honor what is sacred to its people. And the hands of God do not wield instruments of war. The hands of God extend the olive branch of peace, with only using war as an absolute last resort. And the hands of God work for equality, respect, compassion for its people. All of its people, all of its children. And I think if anything, for me personally, this has brought up for me is, I would like to say a renewed commitment, but I want to say an awakening and a commitment to be emboldened, to speak out for the rights of all people, and to work for the rights of all people, for the equality, for the justice, for the equity of everyone. Because I believe that is what the hands of God do. And in closing, I want to share with you just an excerpt from this writing by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. The writing says that you were made for this. We are needed. That is all we can know. And though we meet resistance, we more so will meet great souls that hail us, love us, and guide us. And we will know them when they appear. Didn't you say you were a believer? Didn't you say you pledged to listen to a voice greater? Didn't you ask for grace? Don't you remember that to be in grace means to submit to a voice greater? Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul, to assist some portion of this poor, suffering world, will help immensely. It is not given to us to know which acts or by whom will cause the critical mass to tip toward the enduring good. What is needed for dramatic change is an accumulation of acts, adding to, adding more, continuing. We know that it does not take everyone on earth to bring justice and peace, but only a small, determined group who will not give up. There will always be times when you feel discouraged. I too have felt despair many times in my life, but I do not keep a chair for it. I will not entertain it. It will not be allowed to eat from my plate. The reason is this. In my uttermost bones, I know something, as do you. It is that there can be no despair when we remember why you came to earth, who you serve, and who sent you. The good words we say and the good deeds we do are not ours. They are the words and the deeds of the one who brought us here. And so I encourage us to affirm that for ourselves. Every act accumulates and adds to the whole. Every word spoken in support and encouragement of others who may not be like us add to the whole. Small acts of love and kindness and compassion are doing the work of God. We are being God's hands. And I encourage us all to look for ways that we can do that. Look for more ways that we can do that. No, we're not responsible for the whole world, but let us reach out to that part of the world that is within our grasp, in our reach, and be the hands of God. Thank you. So